We could watch the Muppets. Let's balance this. Let's balance the sad that we saw with some extra whimsy. We're gonna watch one on the Muppets. All right, one moment. Here. Sorry, yaoi jump scare. Here you go. Oh. Why is this how you start it? I like the bad mic quality.
What are you doing, boss? I'm trying to get.
Let me know if you guys can't hear it or anything. It's pretty low at first, I think.
But boss, I signed us up for Squarespace, like you said, and now your website looks great. What? Cody, my boy.
Squarespace.
Great to hear.
Oh, this is an ad. This is a W sponsor.
In early 1976, writer Jerry Jewell
Okay,
was living in
low,
California with his wife
okay,
Susan.
no. We're good.
It had been 15 years since Jewell had become the first employee of the now famous puppeteer Jim Henson. He had begun work on Sam and Friends in Maryland on WRC
Thank you
TV
for the
last few months of its
Lancer.
run. Immediately afterwards,
Hope you're
Jewell
doing good.
followed
Hope you're
Henson
having
and
a
his
good
family
day.
to New York City, helping him build his team of
W
puppeteers
ads.
and beginning his work as
That was
Henson's
a very
go-to
brief
writer,
ad
penning the TV
too.
pilots and the script.
That was like the shortest YouTube sponsor I've seen so far. That was like a minute of Squarespace and that's it. And you could barely hear that was for Squarespace. It's like, he had like the McDonald's mic on.
For the Great Santa Claus Switch. In 1969, Jerry and Susan informed Jim that they would be moving out to Los Angeles to continue his writing career. Jim wished him well, and the two continued to work together, albeit remotely. Jewell would help write for Sesame Street, the Tales from Muppetland specials, and the first pilot for Jim's Muppet Show, The Muppets Valentine Show. However, Jewell would not help write for...
I forgot to mention the thing for Action Park that I know of that he didn't mention. Do I do it now? No, it's okay. I'm
Jim's
not gonna do it now. It's too late.
Pilot, the
It's
Muppet
too late.
Show, Sex
I
and
should have said it
Violence,
when I thought about it
his
earlier.
Voice was apparent. Jewell was always praised for his grip on character and structure, two things that the Sex and Violence pilot were clearly missing. In late 1975, Jewell's phone rang. On the other end was Jim Henson, holding a list of
Qualified
talking
3
points
minutes
to
in that
break the
person
good
2
and bad
seconds.
news
I
to his
know.
friend. The good
Never
news
too
was that
late.
Jim
You
had
guys
finally
really
been
want to
greenlit
know.
for a week.
So sorry. So for one case I know for Action Park, it was like the temperature of the water was really low and then the heat outside was really high. So someone died from the what's the word? The sudden change after jumping into the water. And it was one of the cliff diving things. But yeah. Now we're gonna balance that with the whimsy of Jim Henson.
The Muppet Show. The bad news was that one of the conditions was that Jewell could not be head writer.
I'm
As a
surprised he
more
didn't mention
experienced
that
comedy
one.
writer was to be given the title in order to ease
Yeah.
the minds of the studio. Jewell agreed to write for the show without the head position.
I think this
surely
was
meant that he would have
was
to move back to New York.
good
But Jim had
story.
one more piece of news.
I don't know when I don't know why he didn't mention that one. Or maybe I missed over it. Hypothermia? It's not really called that. There is a term for it when you're going from very hot temperature to a very cold temperature, and it basically causes your body shock. And that's what happened to that person. So yeah, that really sucked for that one. But that was a different YouTube video I learned that from. A good story. It's not a good story because someone died in it. Let's go with the Muppets. Is there gonna be anything? I don't know if there's gonna be anything morbid here. This is gonna be whimsy. This is gonna be whimsy. We're gonna balance the true crime with the whimsy.
Or even Los Angeles. Jim was asking Jerry to follow him to England.
England? Yeah, the shock. The shock is bad.
Hello there. My name is Jim Henson, and I'm a puppeteer.
My name is Jeff.
I'm called a puppeteer because I work with puppets.
Aw, so cute. I like this opening.
Okay,
Very cute.
Greatest story in the world.
Yowie. That's all I have to say.
Okay, you're gonna love this
Whimsy
story.
until the very
Greatest
last
story in the world.
episode. Wait, I thought the Muppets was still going. It gets sad. Does the Muppets get sad at all? I can't think of any like true crime-esque. Sort of kinds? Oh. Kinda. I can't think of anything like sad that I know of Jim Henson. No worries, Vampire Tiger. Enjoy your lurk. Disney ruined the Muppets. Disney ruins everything.
Jack Burns was a comedian in the truest of senses. He had been a member of the Second City Improv Troupe, and he had formed two successful comedy duos, one
that
with
can be
George
sad.
Carlin and another with Avery Schreiber. He had acted in a number of television shows, and he had written for the Laugh-In-inspired variety show Hee Haw. In producer
Hee
Ward
Haw.
Lee Gray's mind, he was the perfect type of head writer for the Muppet
I
Show.
like that
In
name.
November of
I
1975,
like that name for a
developmental
show.
meetings between Burns, Jewell, and Henson
I like how
were
I haven't
held. The
drawn
first thing they nailed down
anything
was
in the like
premise and
1
format.
hour
The
stream.
Muppet Valentine Show
2
and the
hours of
Muppet Show
stream
Sex
now.
and Violence had a few similarities that they could draw from.
I've drawn like 2
For one,
lines.
they were both variety shows with musical numbers and short skits. This is the format in which the Muppets
Disney
thrive,
ruined most
but
of
the
Star
series needed
Wars.
a premise that helped hold these
I
segments
haven't watched much new Star Wars stuff, to be honest, but yeah, I can see that happening.
together. The Muppets Valentine Show was too heavy on its specific story to be replicated, and it could have used a few more skits.
They ruined
The
Doctor
Muppet Show Sex
Who.
and Violence
How?
needed less skits and more character.
I
Another
call it for
similarity
your
between the two
drawing.
specials
I
was the
can't.
show within a show
I will
format.
catch up. Do
In the
not
Muppets
erase.
Valentine Show, Wally was writing the screenplay. In the Muppet Show Sex and Violence,
I will
90
catch
more
up. Don't
friends were
worry. Don't
putting on
worry.
a pageant. The
We'll
concept
have the
that
line
emerged
art done
from
by the end of
brainstorming
stream.
sessions was a group
Don't
of
worry,
Muppets
2 hours is
attempting
enough.
to put on a vaudeville show in an old theater. The concept was nothing groundbreaking, and the team wasn't 100% confident in the idea. One positive of the format was the ability to bring on a human guest star for each episode. Mia Farrow's role in the Muppet Valentine special seemed
Mia
to prove that the
Farrow.
audience needed a human to ground the show, or at the very least, give the Muppets something to play off of. On top
Aw.
of this, a list of celebrity guest stars would help sell the show to more stations. The idea was great, but the execution would be difficult. Jim's agent, Bernie Brillstein, was tasked with finding celebrities that would be okay with traveling to London for a week to shoot a syndicated puppet show that didn't pay that well.
Who would be okay with traveling to London? I don't know anyone who would want to go there. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Which, if you can believe
British.
it, many declined. Brillstein had to resort to calling in favors from friends and clients, and he was able to secure dancer
Doctor
Julia
Who
Prowse
Disney
and actress Connie
got
Stevens
a hold
for
of
the show's
Push
2
Awake
pilot
storyline.
episodes. These episodes would be filmed,
What the heck?
edited, and shopped around to any U.S. stations that would be willing to purchase the
That's
syndication
horrible.
rights to air the show. It was convoluted, backwards, and a huge risk. But Grade believed in
Look
Jim
at
and the
Kermit.
Muppets, and he was giving them a huge opportunity. With Brillstein, Jewell,
Kermit the
Burns,
Frog.
and Henson's producer, David Laser, on board, Jim needed to assemble the rest of his team. His regular puppeteering team,
No
including
worries,
Frank
enjoy
Oz,
your lurk.
Dave Goles, and Richard Hunt, would make the trip overseas.
Don't let me distract
Unfortunately,
you.
performer Jerry Nelson would not be able to travel for the filming of the pilot episodes. Henson would bring 2 more performers he had worked with, John Lovelady and Aaron Oskar. Jim would also bring another puppeteer out with him, his wife Jane. Jane, Jim's first performing
Aw,
partner, had focused
that's
on
so
raising their
cute.
family, which had grown to 5 children: Lisa, Brian,
Whoa!
Cheryl, John, and Heather.
That's a lot of children. They got a whole theater company in there. They must have had a lot of fun, like with the puppets. I wonder
She
if
was still
the
able to find time to help Jim when he
let's
needed it,
see.
providing additional
Aw.
puppeteering on many projects.
The only
often
good
going
thing that came
uncredited.
from Disney's
Jim and
time
Jane's
with Star
relationship
Wars
had
was
become
Clone Wars.
strained over the past few years.
Wait, Clone Wars was Disney? I didn't know that. I thought Clone Wars was like before the merge with Star Wars and Disney. And I liked Ahsoka from Clone Wars. I did watch 3 seasons of Clone Wars. I enjoyed those.
Jim's hectic schedule was not easy to deal with, and although he made time for his family, he was definitely torn between 2 worlds.
That's a
Communication
lot.
was another issue between Jim and Jane. Jim's soft,
That's a
gentle
lot to
nature,
deal with.
which his friends and coworkers admired, was not helpful in serious conversations pertaining to the family or their relationship.
Rogue One was
Despite
great.
the 2 growing apart, Jane remained an essential asset of the Muppets. For one,
Nice,
she had a
nice,
sharp
nice.
eye for talent, and Jane would
At
help
least there's
Jim in
something you
recruiting
guys could have
puppeteers.
enjoyed from
Jane
it.
was also one of the few people that could tell Jim the truth
Clone
about
Wars
his
started
work,
before the
even if it
merger.
wasn't positive. Jim didn't
Yeah,
take
Jim
criticism
Henson had a
exceedingly
very
well,
big
and Jane
family.
was one of the few people he trusted for an honest opinion. Another was Frank Oz, who with his direct and aggressive nature,
I don't know.
had
How
no
many
issue in
kids is
telling
too
Jim how
many
he felt.
kids,
It
guys?
was this dichotomy
I
that made
feel
their
like
friendship work.
when you get to the second kid, that's enough. That's just my opinion. And me, I'm not having any kids. Fetus deletus. Nuh-uh. I just want to draw. I just want to
And the
draw.
juxtaposition that had created
Anything
Bert
more
and
than
Ernie,
3,
two
yeah,
of the most
3 is like
popular
the
Muppet
max.
characters. Even with a full team of puppeteers,
I would hate to have
writers,
kids personally.
and crew from
Okay.
Grades Elstree
I will be very honest. I would say I would like to adopt kids one day because I like helping people who are less fortunate. That's the only thing I would say. That's really it. Hi, Sojiko. Welcome. We're on our 3rd Defunctland video for today. We're watching one about Jim. Oh my god, I can't speak. Jim Henderson, right? Right? Jim Henderson. I don't know why I forgot my names. We're watching one on the Muppets.
Studios. There were still a lot of frogs and
Jim
dogs and bears
Henson.
and chickens and
Thank you.
whatevers that needed to be brought onto
I don't
the
know
show.
why I can't
Many
speak.
characters from
I'm
previous specials
sorry.
would be brought back as performers or workers on the show
Look
within
at them,
a show.
they're so
The
cute.
Swedish Chef, performed by Henson with hands
The
now puppeteered
chef.
by Oz, would perform as zany cooking
Meatball.
demonstrations. George the Janitor, performed by Oz, would be the show's
Jim
janitor.
Henderson,
Mildred,
isn't that a
who was
different
passed
guy?
between performers.
Who did I say? Who did I say? That's one of my major. This is one of my major hyperfixations. So valid. So valid.
Was added to various
Muppets is
sketches despite
adorable.
not having a role in the show. Sam Eagle would return as the show's morally
It's
upright
him.
censor and fine art curator. The full Electric Mayhem Band would be the house band, and many of the members would perform in the orchestra. Crazy Harry, performed by
Adoption's a
Lovelady,
blessing. I
would
speak
be
from
the show's
experience. I'm adopted and proud to admit it.
pyrotechnics expert, and the
Aww.
elderly gentleman from Sex
I'm
and
glad.
Violence,
I'm
Statler
glad.
and Waldorf, performed by Richard Hunt and Henson respectively.
It's like, you
were
know,
given a seat in
the American
theater's
foster
balcony,
system
where
is
they would
such a
comment on
bad
the show
place to
and
be
heckle the
in.
cast.
I love it. I love it.
Of course he loves it.
Why-
He's the kind of guy who
He said that right after I said what I said. I'm like, okay, I see how you feel about
plants
that.
poison ivy.
Poison Ivy.
Other Muppets such as Sweetums and the cast of frogs, pigs, chickens,
Why did
Frackles,
she
and the
hit him with a chair? What was the storyline here?
Other Muppets such as Sweetums and the cast of frogs,
They're
pigs,
the WWE X the Muppets.
chickens, Frackles, and the interchangeable Muppet
That would be kinda
whatnots would be
funny.
used as needed.
Did the
Since Jim
WWE and the
his team
Muppets
had
ever
been
have a
constantly
collab?
appearing on variety shows performing skits for nearly 2 decades, the Muppets already had a few acts to integrate into the show. A skit named Phenomena, which Jim had first used for Sesame Street in 1969, had been evolving for over 6 years. The skit featured a nonsense song originally written for an Italian sex
Beaker is the
documentary that just so
cousin
happened
of
to be
Seamus?
extremely catchy.
Wait, Sheamus the wrestler, right? Good for him for winning what he won. I forgot what
Newer
he
Evolved
won.
Muppets
I
would
think
be
he won
created
like
for
the
the 2 pilots,
championship. They did a
including
whole
singing
skit.
duo named
I think
Wayne
I
and Wanda,
remember.
performed by
I
Hunt
think
and
I
Oscar,
remember
respectively,
what you
that could
talking
never
about.
seem to make it through one of their performances. A Muppet Newsman, performed by
The only
Henson,
Muppets
that would
related
quickly
thing I
run
ever
on stage
watched
to
was
give
the
Muppet
Muppets movie,
newsflashes.
and I think the
Dr.
Christmas
Bunsen
special. That's
Honeydew,
valid.
performed by Goals, who would give
OG Troll,
demonstrations of the new
Stanler, and
technology
Waldorf.
being
No one
developed
could
by Muppet Labs.
out-troll
and Hilda,
Stanler
the
and
show's
Waldorf.
seamstress, performed by Oscar,
Mhm.
who was typically involved in the show's backstage plots. Another singer would be the prima donna pig, Miss Piggy, performed
Miss
interchangeably
Piggy.
by Richard Hunt and Frank Oz. In one sketch in the Juliet Prowse
Did
pilot,
anyone have
she
a
was
crush
voiced
on
by
Miss
both
Piggy?
Oz and Hunt, with Oz providing some spoken dialogue and
I
Hunt
must
providing
know.
her vocals.
Any Miss Piggy enjoyers in chat? Valid. She's the baddie.
Dave Goles, who was still helping in the Muppet Workshop, was more or less forced by Jim to perform on The Muppet Show. Jim saw potential in the puppeteer, even when Goles was uncertain about his talents. Jim wanted him to play the Muppet Show's resident daredevil, named Gonzo the Great, pulling a Muppet at
Oh?
random from the collection, the cigar box Frackle from the Great Santa Claus Switch. handing
like
it
her,
to
she's
Goals and
funny,
saying,
yes.
This could be Gonzo.
Miss
Goals' lack
Piggy's
of confidence
cute.
in his own performances created a very hypocritical Gonzo. On one hand, he was a daredevil that believed his performances were high
Look
art,
at this
getting mad at
dude.
the audience when they rejected his attempts
Dave
to
Goals
eat a
is the
rubber
only
tire to the
OG
music
performer
of the
left.
flight
He
of
is
the bumblebee.
Gonzo.
On the
Wait,
other hand,
is Gonzo this guy? I forget the Muppet's name. I'm not up to date on my Muppet lore.
he was a sad, pathetic character with a baby voice.
Really?
Like,
You think I'm emotionally mature enough to move up to a Raggedy Ann?
He clearly
what?
needed work, but if it was any consolation
yeah,
for
that's
the nervous
Gonzo.
Goals,
Okay,
the great
I do
Frank
know my
Oz was
Muppets
having
lore.
trouble establishing his main character as well. The show's resident comedian would be a bear named Fozzie.
What if I draw
Oz
Sonic
gave
and
the
Shadow as
character a low,
Muppets?
gruff voice to deliver his unbearably bad jokes with.
All right, everybody, reach for the whore.
The character
I thought he
also had a
sounded
unique
different.
mechanism that allowed him to lower
I thought
and
he
raise the
sounded like
corners of his mouth,
this.
allowing him to frown and
I
smile.
thought he sounded like
Oz was
Teddy
one,
from
if
Bob's
not the best
Burgers.
performer
Frank Oz is still around too. Oh, who is Frank Oz?
that Jim had. Although he shrugged
Frank
off the
hasn't
group's
done
performances
anything
with his
with
incessantly
the
sarcastic
Muppets
personality,
since
often
Muppets in
quipping,
Space.
ready to wiggle some
Oh.
dolls before performances. Still, his comedic timing and delivery, especially when paired with Jim, was next to none. Ernie and Bert were proof of this, but recreating that magic with new
He's
characters was
Scooby-Doo.
proving to be difficult. Fozzie became the victim
Wait,
of
no, that's
Statler and
Frank
Waldorf,
Welker.
but the balance
Oh.
wasn't right. Similar acts, such as one performed by comedian Milton
I want to
Berle,
play the
proved
Scooby-Doo
that the
license
setup
game
works.
now.
Unfortunately,
Now you guys
Fozzie's
got me in the
constant
mood for
failures
it.
were more sad than funny, which held his character back. Finally, Jim needed a main character, and the Muppet Show needed a host. The host of the Sex
Oh?
and Violence pilot, the drowsy Nigel,
Oh,
was
Little
cast
Shop
the
of
role
Horrors, I heard
conductor
of
the
that.
orchestra, and Jim was left searching for a lead. The obvious choices were Rolf and Kermit. Rolf had seemed to run his course in mainstream popularity.
If you watch
but
Muppet
Jim would not
Christmas
waste him as he had
Carol,
done in Sex
the
and
Michael
Violence.
Michael
Rolf would be
Caine
the show's
treated the
resident
Muppets
pianist,
more like
and he would be
co-stars
given
than
his
mere
own segments.
puppets.
This left Jim
Oh.
with Kermit, one of
I
his most
might have, I'm not
recognizable
sure.
Muppets, especially among the adult crowd. Jim had been working with Kermit for over 20 years by this point, and the character
Hi,
had yet to
Eprak,
find his footing.
welcome. Hello,
On
hello.
Sesame Street, he was the adult
Hope you're doing good.
interacting
Hope
with
you're having a good
children or
day.
Muppets that acted like children. But even on the preschool program, he had an unrestrained anger.
Meanwhile,
to him,
Muppet
and he
Treasure
often came
Island,
off as
Tim
rude and
Curry was
grumpy.
more of a Muppet.
You
Oh.
stupid rotten monster! You make me so mad I don't believe it. You are without a doubt one of the...
Why would he's crashing out? He's crashing out. Hi, Raiders! Welcome, welcome. Hello, hello. Hello, you guys should follow my fish friends. You guys like Sonic VTubers? You guys like art? What were you doing, actually? Let me not accidentally raid someone again when I'm trying to give them a shout out. Oh, do you have art tags for me? One moment. I'm going to give you a shout out and then I'm going to make you VIP. And then I'm going to explain what the hell I'm doing today. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, Raiders. Hello, hello. Hi, hi, hi. Oh, I want to see your... I want to see your arts. Let me make you VIP because only VIPs can share links. You can also, if you don't want to share what you are working on stream, you are more than welcome to find a Blue Sky post of any art that you're proud of. For those who don't know what we're doing today, we are watching Defunctland. It is my first time watching it. And for those who don't know me, I am Peachael, the Seraphim, banished Vtuber. I do art, I play games. I'm a self-made Vtuber. I made my model. I made my overlay. Look at Sonic and Shadow Kiss. A broom. A broom. Blake Hearts, thank you for the check-in. Welcome, welcome. I'm going to try and snooze the ads so nobody gets stuck in ads. But if anyone needs to raid and run, do not let me hold you up. Yeah. Don't let me hold you up. Let me, okay, I snooze the ads so no one gets stuck. Also, Kermit is crashing out. You came at the perfect time to see Kermit crash out. But yeah. The videos go well, Eprak. The video goes very well. Kermit is crashing out.
You make me so mad I don't believe it. You are without a doubt one of the
Hi,
nastiest monsters I've ever seen.
welcome.
Also, Kermit's moonlighting on late night shows and other specials.
What did she... What? Miss Piggy! Miss Piggy, get her! Why did... Kermit! Someone help Kermit. Why... My eyes. Let me show... I want to show Rella Knox art. One moment. Wait. I was gonna... Okay. It just opened. I love old school Muppets. He didn't consent. I know. I was gonna show it larger. On my arts. One moment.
Well, Anna, go dry off. We'll see you in a little bit. What is wrong with you?
Relax.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Thank you, Anna.
What?
Okay, I guess we're done.
Are
Don't
we?
be so frowning at the...
Okay. You drew anemone. Oh wait, we're done with that. Oh no, I pressed something else. One moment. Let me get rid of this. I pressed the wrong thing. I love old school Muppets. Yeah, that's what we're learning about today, but I accidentally closed it when I opened your link. Oh, there it is. Here you go. Why did they do that to Kermit? So sorry. Raiders. Here you
Had
go.
caused a bit of controversy
Let's see Kermit crash out
Jim
one
with
more
Kermit.
time.
Me
Because
so
it was
mad
very
I don't
funny.
believe it. You are without a doubt one of the nastiest monsters I've ever seen.
Also,
Why
Kermit's
would he be
moonlighting
so
on
mean?
late night shows and other specials had caused a bit of controversy
Poor
with his Sesame
Kermit.
Street gig. In 1970,
Is he okay? That was a dramatic fall. Let me show off Relinock's art. Let me show
he
that off.
provided lead-in segments to the
Alice
commercials
Cooper
airing
was
during
on the
Haste and
Muppet
Rebel,
Show as a
and
guest.
few critics were quick to point out
Oh,
that the
nice,
Sesame
nice,
Street character
nice.
shouldn't
What
be
else
used
was
to
she
sell
in?
products. Still, there were glimpses of depth in the frog.
Celebrities
In
were practically
1970, he
begging
would
to
sing
be
a
on the
song
Muppet
Sesame
Show.
Street, written by
I see.
songwriter Joe Raposo, titled "Being Green."
What
the
is
song
that
saw
clip?
Kermit taking a moment to reflect on his ordinary and possibly dull
Look at
coloring.
Relinock's
In the final
art.
verse of the song,
It is
Kermit realizes that the way he
Willow.
is beautiful, and that it's the way he wants to be. The
Look at Relinock's art of Willow. It's very cute. You guys should check Relinock out. And for any raiders that need to raid and run, don't feel bad about it at all. I will just be here chilling with my Muppets. Look at him. He's so cute. He's so
song will
cute.
become a hit.
Thank
and it
you
would be
for
covered
sharing
by
your
many
art.
famous
Thank you,
musicians,
thank you.
including Frank Sinatra and Lena Horne. When Kermit's character developed on Sesame Street, finally lightening up a bit, his personality split in two. In the
Aw,
morning,
that's so
he could be seen
cute.
talking gently to children and teaching them the alphabet.
Aw.
But in the evening, he would be on Jim's arm appearing on late night shows.
Oh, Alice
Here,
Cooper was
he
a
would act as
guy. Oh, I
foil to
didn't
the
know.
kind Jim. once again coming off as rude.
He was a
Jim's
singer. Even
decision to
Elton
place
John
Kermit
was
as the
on the
host of the
Muppet Show.
Muppet
Yeah, I
would be
remember
one of the
Elton
best
John.
decisions he would
Kermit,
make,
you have a
because it
Kermit
gave the
emo?
character something he needed
I
desperately.
love it.
A
I love
home.
it.
As the showrunner, host, and boss of the bizarre group of weirdos that resided at the Muppet Show, Kermit could finally become
For those who
an
want to see what
extension
art
of Jim,
I'm doing
who had
today,
a very similar role with
I'm
his
drawing
team,
Zooble
while
from the
also being
Amazing
able to
Digital
get angry and
Circus.
yell, something Jim
Here's
never
Zooble.
did. After the character
And
was
here
given
is
the
Zooble
job,
abstracted.
he no longer came off as rude or grumpy. Instead,
Alice
he was merely
Cooper's
trying
heavy
to make
metal? Wait,
everything work
really?
with a
Wait, what did Alice Cooper make? I want to know. I love heavy metal. I like listening to Slipknot a lot.
group of people that were making it extremely hard for him. In this way, he was the show's most relatable character, and he would often take quiet moments to break the fourth wall.
I hate Milk,
confiding
actually. Why
in
am
the
I so
audience.
excited for Milk? It's just cute to see Kermit do things. I did
Kermit was
not
one
get
of the few
Lego
characters that
Muppets.
worked right away, whether he was talking to the guest in the show's talk spot or watching the performances with a horrified look
Dog.
off stage.
Look at the dog. Look at the dog. Look at the
Whether
dog.
he was talking to the guest in the show's talk spot or watching the performances
Thank
with a
you.
horrified
Thank you
look
for the
off
lurk. I
stage.
appreciate
The Juliet
it.
Prowse
Everyone
and Connie
check
Stevens
out Bella
episodes were
Knox.
shot in January of 1976. After this, the performers returned to the United States
Look
to
for the
continue
song
their work
School's
on
Out,
Saturday
Alice
Night
Cooper.
Live,
Oh, I know School's Out. I know School's Out. Wasn't that in School of Rock? I forgot. I know Jack Black was there, but I know that song. I know that song.
Earlstein and Laser shopped the pilots around. With 2 episodes of The Muppet Show to display to programmers,
Don't kiss
they
him.
would now be able to convince
Do
more
not kiss him.
stations to
He's
syndicate
taken.
the independently produced show.
Don't do
After
it.
seeing a preview of the brand new Muppet Show, the
Thank God.
consensus was
Nothing happened to
unanimous.
Kermit.
It was a resounding no. The show's pacing and format didn't work, and even Lou
No,
Grade's
don't kiss
American producer
Kermit.
believed
He's
the show's
taken by
humor
Miss
was too
Piggy.
British. The show's intro, for instance, was way too long, featuring a full preview of the show to come, with multiple lines that would end up
What
being
are
cut,
those?
such as
Are
Kermit
those
singing,
birds?
"The show tonight will feature a lovely song or two.
Let me
We
get
also
back
have
to
some
my art.
dancing, if that's what pleases you." And
The-
Fozzie
the
Bear
2
will tell you
lines
some
that I've
jokes
drawn.
you never knew.
Muppets
before
lore is
finally
wild.
singing,
Do you guys have a video of Muppets lore? By the way, if you guys ever want to recommend videos, feel free to share on my Discord server in a channel titled Weeby Web. I can't guarantee that I will watch it right away. Maybe in the future I'll save it, but yeah. And remember, when you request things, they're not demands, they're just suggestions.
To introduce our guest star,
I'm gonna make sure
that's
you guys
what
are
I'm
not
here to
stuck in
do.
the ads.
The
I'm gonna
backstage
snooze them.
segments also fell flat, including a scene where
Snooze.
Kermit asks one of the chorus girls out on a date, only to get rejected.
Yes.
Jim, never one to
It's
take
Willow.
criticism well, stewed in the rejection
Willow
for a
art.
short while, before laughing it
I
off.
share again.
After all, the team had 22 more
I assume this
episodes
was
to
for
shoot,
Art
and they
Fight.
would
Rella
clearly have
Nacht
to
isn't
rework the 2 they had
lurking, but
already
I'm pretty
made.
sure this is
Jim's
for Art
entire
Fight, because I
career
think
had been
Willow
leading
has
up to
also
this
joined
moment,
Art Fight.
and while such a strong rejection of his work hurt deeply, he knew that the only possible way to move forward was
I'm
to
gonna
improve
shout
the
him
show
out
and
one
hope
more
the new
time,
product
because I'm
would be
very
better
bad at doing
received.
that.
Of course, Jim didn't say this. He just quietly muttered, "It's not the end of the world," and then had a drink with Laser. On May 5th,
What?
1976, Jim and his team sailed to London, leaving behind
Rella
SNL,
Knox.
which had luckily been simple considering that no
There we
involved party had benefited from the collaboration.
They burned our scenery. We're no longer booked on the show, and they said we're puppets, and that we don't even
I'm like
have
a puppet
lower
on the
half.
string. You guys know that Eggman line from Snap Cube? I'm like a puppet on the string. Also, what did Selena say? I don't know if there's any videos that I can look. No pressure, no pressure. Don't feel like you need to.
What do
I
we
can
do?
always ask Wispy. Wispy has a lot of
Jane would
videos
stay
for
with
me.
Jim for just the first few weeks of the 6 months he and the other Muppet performers would be
Consider
in London before
that would be
returning to look after their
interesting.
children.
Someone did ask, why isn't there 3D art in Art Fight? Why is it only digital? I feel like any art could be an Art Fight. I feel like people just I don't know, don't explore enough.
It's left to Jim, Jewel,
I think any art in
Burns,
Art Fight would be
Oz,
appreciated.
Goals, Hunt, Lovelady, Oscar, and the crew at Grade's Elstree Studios.
I don't
to
do
make the
Art Fight,
Muppet
though, by the
magic
way.
happen.
I don't
Performer
have the
Jerry
energy.
Nelson would join his friends to perform on the show in just a few weeks, and Jim assigned Muppet builder Bonnie Erickson to set up a new workshop at Elstree Studios to create the endless amount of puppets Jim would need for the show. With everyone on board and settled in, there was only a few things left to do. It was time to play the music, and it was time
Is there a
to light the
controversy
lights.
about that? That would suck. The problem with Art Fight at the moment is that I'm surprised people forgot, for whatever reason, they banned 3D artwork. Oh, they did? Why
Just
did
as
they
Kermit
ban
was
it?
becoming the glue that
Now
held
I
the
don't
rest
want to
of the
join it
Muppet
even
cast together,
more.
Jim was the glue that held together his
Like,
team.
art can be a lot of things. That sucks. This is a recent thing. Is there like an actual good reason? Because I'm never joining it, if so I actually have recently done 3D art if you guys want to see.
The Muppet Show
For those
ran
who are
on a
new
tight
here, I could show
schedule,
you.
and Jim could be found running back and forth between rehearsals, the editing room,
I could show you
the
my
writing
3D
room,
art. I've
and
been
anywhere else
learning
along the
Maya
chain of
for
production.
school.
Everyone knew the show needed to improve, but it was also clear that they had little
I also
time
need to
do
pee,
it.
so when the
first
ads
guest would be
play in 3
Broadway
minutes, I'm
star
gonna go
Joel
take a
Perez.
potty break.
The first thing to
Go
fix was the
pee-pee.
characters. Oz would be given a new Fozzie puppet.
I could show some
with
of
the
my
frown
art too
mechanism
for those who
being
are
replaced
new.
with a new ability to
But
wiggle
here's
the
my
character's
3D
ears.
art.
Oz would also give Fozzie a new, higher-pitched voice. This added a bit of cuteness to the
My
character,
3D
which
art.
paired nicely with his terrible comedy performances.
And then,
I don't approve of belly dancers. Why can't they dance on the floor like everyone else?
Burns and Jewel
yeah,
also wrote a storyline in which
bars.
Fozzie was
He's got
badgering
some
the cast with his
bars.
jokes, which
I could
proved
show
a
off
great
my other
backstage
art.
through-line for the episode. The
I
plot
could show off
ended
my
with Fozzie
crocodile.
defeating Statler and
Actually, I didn't show you guys the
Wilbur, a
chess
possible
set I
attempt to
made.
balance the dynamic
Here you
between
go.
the comedian and the hecklers.
Look at the
One
dogs.
positive of
Look
two
at the
pilots were the
doggies.
musical numbers. Jim's eccentric and
I
diverse
3D
taste in
modeled
music
these
always
in
been a
Maya.
part of the Muppet Ensemble's personality. And Jim
They
had
didn't
favorites
ban
in
3D
almost
art,
every
they
genre,
banned tracing
ranging from
3D
novel
models. Okay, that is more understandable. I honestly don't even like I'm really I don't think tracing helps you at all, even when you're tracing an actual image, and people have criticized me for saying that, and I'm like, I'm sorry, but you don't learn anything. And I've done it before. Like as a child, as an actual child, I tried doing that with like actual photos, and then you're just drawing too realistically. You're not developing your own art style when you trace like that, even if it's 3D models. I am so sorry to break it to you guys. I am so sorry to be the one to say it. I'm not exactly the best artist in the world either to take whatever I say with a grain of salt, but yeah, I've seen some artists trace like the models that are like blank, if you know what I mean. But yeah,
to bluegrass. The recording
I've seen
sessions for the
artists do
Muppet
that and
songs
come
was
up
one of
with
his
nice
favorite
things,
phases of
but
production, getting to have fun with all of his
I don't know.
friends, singing the songs he loved in funny voices. As he had done on
I'm gonna
Sam and
find some
Friends
of my
years
other
prior,
art to
he
show
would
off.
put odd twists on some of his favorite songs, such as an alien
Here
jazz
is
number
here's
transitioning
Super
into a soft
Sonato. I drew
version of You Are
this.
My Sunshine. As many of the guests
Tracing
Bill C.
3D
was lining
models
up
that are
were
blank is
singers.
a different
The Muppet
story
Show
if it's
would
just for
feature music
posing
more than any
reasons.
other act.
I just
Another
feel like when you trace, even if it's a pose, even if it's like a mannequin that you're tracing, you're not learning like you're not learning proportions that way. That's just my experience as someone who's been drawing for like 20 years. You guys want to see Tailsmo? Look at my wholesome Tailsmo art. Look at them. For those who are not subbed, you're gonna be yeeted to ads. I'm gonna take a short break because I really need to go pee pee. I hope you guys don't mind, and then we'll get back to the Jim Henson Muppets video. And then here is Sonato. Pride Month is over, but I will never stop being gay. And here's some Cosmo art I did recently. Here is my Cosmo art. Yeah. The ads are going to start in 20 seconds, so I'll be right back. I'll put on some music for you guys, and you guys can play the lurk bait game. Let's go here. Let me do that. I'll play some music. One moment. So sorry. If you guys want a chance to win a free gift sub from me to my channel, you just have to type !cast. And that's how you could win a gift sub and get a chance to vote on stuff. Let's put this. I'm going to put on Shino's song. All right, I'll be right back, Sea Angels. Hello, hello, hello. I am back. I am back. Let's go over here. I went pee-pee. I washed my hands. I washed my hands. Are we ready for the end of this? Enough is enough. Alright. Welcome back, Sea Angels. Thank you guys for waiting through the ads. I highly appreciate it. For anyone just joining, I am Peachael the Seraphim, banished angel Vtuber. I do art, I play games, and right now we're watching Defunctland. We're watching one on Jim Henson and the Muppets. Been fun to learn about so far. This is very good whimsy. Very wholesome whimsy. Nothing bad so far happened, as I know of. Defunctland sometimes goes over like, well, sometimes has videos like on why certain things shut down and stuff. So sometimes has like true crime-esque things, but this one's been fine so far. Let's see what the rest is about. We saw Kermit crash out. It was great.
The less they were talking.
Let me know if everything sounds fine, Sea Angels.
The recurring segments would also be constantly.
Tell me if it doesn't. What is this character? Why is Steam out? Why is Steam blowing out his head?
Figure out their characters. The recurring segments would
I
also
love
be
him.
constantly created,
So silly.
improved, or removed. The pun filled at the dance, a leftover from the Sex and Violence pilot.
What?
Returned despite the mixed feelings
The what and what?
performers had toward it.
In my
and
Muppets?
The lackluster panel discussions, a segment in which the Muppets tried and failed to engage in serious debates. And Talking Houses, a series of skits featuring talking homes delivering house and
I didn't expect that.
Were created. The Joel Grey episode would be better than the previous two, and the Muppets took advantage of the guest talents by having him perform 2 great numbers. The next episode would star comedian Ruth Buzzy, and it would introduce Hunt's main character, a PA that constantly pestered Kermit, named Scooter.
Kermit.
Scooter had a childlike persistence and
Dougie.
energy, similar to Hunt's own
I've never seen that
and he
one
would
on the
never
left.
stop talking, especially around Kermit, which was similar to Hunt's relationship with Jim, although Jim only pretended to be frustrated with Hunt in real life.
Oh.
When I came into the thing, I was 18, and I was really energetic, and, you know, I'd say, yeah, sure, everything you want to do, boss, no problem.
Yes,
I talk
boss.
a lot like him. He's my voice when I was younger, like this.
A breakthrough around this time was a moment in rehearsal for a scene with Piggy and Kermit, in which Piggy was scripted to slap the frog that she was in love with. Oz, who was performing Piggy during the scene, had her karate chop Kermit instead, screaming "Hi-ya" as she pummeled the frog without mercy. Everyone in the room was filled with laughter, and Oz saw depth
That's
to
your
Piggy's character
man's.
for the first time. The next episode of the film, guest starring comedian Harvey Korman, would be a huge step forward. A new sketch, Veterinarian's Hospital, in which Ralph, playing the character of Dr. Bob, spoofs the medical genre with his nurses
She's a
and
nurse?
some clinically bad jokes, would be introduced.
How long have you been a nurse?
Well, what time is it?
Oh my
2
god.
memorable scenes would also come from this episode.
Who-
In
who-
one,
who let
Oz's
her in
character
there?
seemed to solidify his place in the ensemble.
Would you
after
guys let
dragging
Miss
Kermit
Piggy
into a
operate on
complicated
you?
bit, making the frog give the punchline to his joke. A miscommunication between the two characters would lead to one of the show's funniest bits yet.
You're a wonderful looking audience. It's a pleasure to be here.
You just said here.
That was the wrong here.
Which is the right here?
The other here.
Also,
The
in this
other
episode was a
here.
musical number sung by Robin the Frog.
The other
performed
here.
by Jerry Nelson. Robin would sing one of Jim's childhood favorites, A.A. Milne's Halfway Down the Stairs. Robin's rendition of Halfway Down the Stairs would be one of the most memorable moments from season 1, and the sweet song would even make its way onto the UK singles chart the
You know,
next year.
okay.
Jim would also use
So
another
I've only ever watched like the Muppets movies, but I've never watched the actual show.
Milne favorite, Coddleston Pie, sung by Rolf in an
Cute.
episode guest starring Florence Henderson. The show's next episode, with guest star Rita Moreno, would be the best one yet, and the improvements the team had made were apparent. The Muppet Mania just might work.
I like how
Oz given
Muppets
a
is
great
still
running
like
gag
very relevant
backstage and some
today,
hilarious
as
dialogue
it
with
should
Kermit.
be.
And Rita Moreno's show-stopping performance of Fever, with Animal distracting her, resulted in one of the show's first iconic moments. Since the episodes would be aired out of order, and the team believed that the syndicators would want to air the Moreno episode first, the writers would give Scooter a proper introduction for the show's 6th episode, guest starring Jim Neighbors, fully
Well, at
explaining
least
Scooter's
it
role
wasn't
as
a
a
6 to
gopher
7
and his
episode.
relationship with his uncle, who happens to own the theater the Muppets perform in.
I'm Scooter.
Scooter.
Cute name.
In episode
And it is a
12, with
cute
guest star
name.
Peter Ustinov, Kermit would give a sweet rendition of Being Green.
I can use
after his
my
performer seemed to
Pixie
be so
Strike
infatuated with
Gundam
the
in
guest
art
star that they
fight.
forgot about him completely. Brillstein,
Oh,
Laser,
I
and
think
Jim
I know
knew
what you're
early
talking
on
about,
that finding
yeah.
guest stars for the show would be difficult, and they believed the only way to ensure more guests signing on was for the show's first
That
guests to
sucks
spread
that
the word.
3D art.
This meant that
I mean,
the
not 3D
celebrities
art.
had to have a great time doing the show.
Wait, no.
It helped that Jim was
So
already
okay.
well known and respected.
To clarify, 3D art isn't banned because I did see someone on Blue Sky ranting that 3D art isn't an art fight. It's just the tracing 3D models. That makes so much sense to not do that. It makes a lot of sense.
And many stars loved working with him. Laser took the
I'm
responsibility.
glad they have
of the
regulations
executive
on
point of
it.
Contact with the guests, always making sure they were comfortable. The show's format put a spotlight on the celebrities, as they were the only human in the episode. The guests were also asked what they would like to do, whether it be comedy bits, singing, or dancing, instead of simply asking them to do what they were known for. The conscious effort to make a good impression worked, and word quickly spread through the industry that guest starring on the Muppet Show
These shows
was a
age
great
like
time.
fine wine,
The constant
timeless,
work meant a
good.
constant paycheck for the already well-off Henson.
They are
Jim was
very
not modest
whimsy,
with
very
his wealth,
cute.
whether it was when he was younger, purchasing a Rolls Royce and driving it to his college
A
graduation,
Rolls Royce.
or now taking elaborate European vacations during the short breaks in production. He was just as quick to spoil
I'm
those
jealous.
around him as he was himself, bringing his family on vacation with him, finding apartments for his crew, and taking the Muppet performers and each guest star
That's a
to
lot.
an expensive wrap dinner after each episode was complete. In
Rap
August of
dinner?
1976,
Like,
Jim and his team
what
briefly
is rap dinner? Is rap dinner after they finish the show, or is rap dinner meaning they go see someone rap? I don't know. I'm dumb. Maybe Tyler the Creator would know.
returned to New York, shooting inserts for Sesame Street and promoting the Muppet Show on various
Sesame
programs.
Street.
In September of 1976, the Rita Moreno episode of The Muppet Show premiered in the UK and the United
That's
States.
nice.
The episode
That's
was
nice,
warmly
Tigre.
received, but it was not a smash hit. The humor still needed work, with some critics pointing out that Burns' style seemed to be influencing the show more than the Muppets. Jim was already on his way back to London to shoot the remaining episodes of The Muppet Show's first season. The crew even went back and filmed additional scenes for the two pilots, even going as far as to explain some of the continuity errors.
Hey, Kermit. Hey,
Continuity.
Does this sound like John Wayne?
Will you get on stage, Fozzie?
Jim would add a memorable number with Scooter and Fozzie, Simon Smith and his dancing bear in the Juliet Prowse episode, and Kermit would sing Lydia the Tattooed Lady in the Connie Stevens episode. The Muppet Show continued to release new episodes in the UK and the US, with Brill
He got
Laser being able to
punched.
sell the show to more and more stations. After the filming of season 1 was complete, Jim and the Muppets returned to the United States, beginning work on another TV special,
Ew, the United
Emmett
States.
Otter's Jug Band Christmas,
I feel so bad
an
for him.
adaptation of a children's book of the same name.
Oh, that's
Emmett
so
Otter would see
cute.
Jim collaborating
Are
with
those
songwriter
beavers?
Paul Williams.
Are these beavers?
Children's book of the same name, the
Wait.
special, Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas, an adaptation
Oh,
of a children's
Jug
book
Band
of the same name.
Christmas.
Emmett Otter would see Jim collaborating with songwriter Paul Williams, who had guest
They're
starred on
cute.
episode 8 of The Muppet Show. The collaboration resulted in some of the catchiest songs in any Muppet special, and the sentimental ballad When the River Meets the Sea would be particularly memorable. It also
Cool.
featured some impressive puppet wizardry,
Aw.
including a radio-controlled Emmett Otter on a rowboat and other Muppets on snowmobiles. Still,
They be
Emmett
having
Otter's
them
Jug
on
Band Christmas had
snowmobiles.
trouble initially getting picked up by a
Snake.
television network.
There's
Airing
a
in
snake?
Canada during
I never seen a snake puppet. That's interesting that they have a snake puppet.
1977's Christmas season before landing on HBO in 1978. Reaching
Reminds
far
me of
less
Puppet
viewership than
Gannon.
Jim had hoped. The quaint special would grow in popularity over time.
The
and would
Wind Waker
eventually be
Puppet
regarded
Gannon.
as a classic. Back in England, the popularity of The Muppet Show was skyrocketing. While it hadn't fully caught on in the
British.
States yet, The Muppet Show had created
What is
legions of
this
fans,
one?
including both children and adults.
Da, da,
It
da,
was
da, da,
even
da.
said that members of
I wanna
Parliament would
dance like
gather
that.
water cooler style every Monday morning to discuss The Muppet Show episode from the night prior. In May 1977, the Muppets returned to London to begin work on a second season of The Muppet Show. Oscar and Lovelady would not return for the show's second season, and British
Aw.
actress Louise Gould would join the cast as a puppeteer.
I love that you
Brill
have that
Steele let
emote.
head writer Jack Burns go. Burns and
We're
Henson had
learning
a few
about the
creative differences
Muppets.
throughout the first season.
Nothing
and it was no
morbid
secret
has
that
happened
Henson
yet.
preferred the writing style of his friend
Thankfully.
Jerry Jewell. Jewell would take over the post as head writer, and the change between seasons would be apparent. For one, a cold open with Scooter and the guest star was added, and a new opening was filmed, removing Kermit's mid
Who is this guy? He's so big. Is he a shark? So silly.
song introduction of the guest star and Fozzie's joke, replacing it with a cutaway to
Fozzie.
Statler and Waldorf.
Well, it's downhill from here.
Many of the characters would be rebuilt, most notably Gonzo and Miss Piggy. Goals had found
Oh.
Gonzo's character toward
They
the end
got-
of season 1, and with a new design,
They got
he was playing him
reboots?
as the king of the weirdos on the Muppet Show.
They got
Oz
to
was now
touch up.
performing Miss Piggy full time.
They got their 2.0 models. Their V2 is our Muppets. I mean, we got a VTuber Muppet in the chat. Are Muppets like the original VTubers? If you think about it, we could add Muppets to like the history of VTubing.
Longer sharing the role with Hunt. Piggy's karate moves and attempts to upstage guest stars had made her one of the Muppet Show's
In a
most
way,
popular
yes.
characters in the first season.
Because
despite
VTubers,
her
we all
original intention
we
as a background
all
character.
describe
She'd
them as
appear much more
puppets.
prominently going forward.
Yeah,
Be
we're
at the dance
essentially
segments with
puppeteering
Peer Plus
models, yeah.
regularly. Bunsen Honeydew's lab assistant Beaker, performed by Hunt, was added. And the panel
Carrot.
discussions and talking house segments were
I love
removed.
Beaker.
A new recurring
Do you guys
skit,
have a favorite
Pigs in
Muppet?
Space, was introduced and would become
Let me know,
extremely
let me
popular
know.
among audiences.
I
The
can't
sketch,
think of
starring
who's
Miss
my
Piggy,
favorite.
Link Hogthrob, performed by Henson, and Dr. Julia Strangepork, performed by Nelson, would spoof space operas such as Lost in Space and Star Trek.
Maybe-
Another notable development
Can I
in
be
the season was
basic?
Gonzo
Can I be basic and just say Kermit because I love green? As you guys can see, I love green so much. That's why I jokingly came up with the word Buppet. Oh, VTuber puppet, virtual puppet for VTuber. After someone said we're all just anime Muppets.
finding
I
his
love
for
that.
chickens, who were given
Chicken!
a hilarious performance of Babyface in the Edgar Bergen episode.
Look at those
In an episode
chickens.
starring Bernadette Peters, Robin is
Is
established
that a
as
baby
Kermit's nephew.
Kermit?
In this episode, he wants to run away from home after being ignored by his uncle and feeling down on himself. But Peters and subsequently the rest
kids?
of the Muppets sing Just One Person,
I don't
showing
remember
how much
that.
they care and believe in him. Finding guest stars for season 2 was much easier, and big names such as John Cleese, Steve Martin, Peter Sellers, Julie Andrews, and international ballet sensation Rudolph Nureyev would appear on
Ballet?
the show. Two of Jim's
Aw,
personal inspirations,
that's
puppeteer
cute.
Edgar Bergen and comedian
Wait,
Milton Berle, would even
I'm
guest star.
sorry. I have such a thought. Because some of these Muppets are animals. Are Muppets the original furries? I'll leave you with that thought for now.
Muppet Mania finally hit the States in late 1977. With
Are they
critics
the
and
original
audiences going wild
fursuits?
over the show. The Muppets were awarded Entertainer of the Year by the American Guild of Variety Artists, as well as multiple Emmy nominations. A Kermit the Frog balloon would glide through the Macy's Thanksgiving Day
Look at
parade.
him.
Jim and the Muppets had proved every...
Inflation.
A Kermit the Frog balloon would
He's
glide
got a
through the Macy's
balloon.
Thanksgiving Day
Do
parade.
we still
Jim
have
and the
Kermit
Muppets had proved every
balloons?
executive that turned them down wrong.
I actually really like the Macy's Day Parade, the most recent one, because we had Mario for the first time and Pac-Man. They were so cute. So cute, so cute.
Muppets were not for children.
Muppets might
They were
just be
for
somewhat of a
everyone, in the
fursuit.
truest sense of the word.
Yeah.
Jim was thrilled, but his
They're
restless
like the
creative mind
original.
was not satisfied. Unlike
I'm the
Kermit Frog,
original.
who would often get overwhelmed just trying to put on the show each week. Jim was always looking ahead for his next creative venture. It was as if time would find him if he stood still for too long. Instead, he kept racing away from it, trying to do as much as possible, even with a full plate. His new idea would seem like a natural next step. He had secured his weekly puppet show, so why not make a puppet feature film? An unprecedented production would solidify the Muppets' success by having them appear on the big screen. Jim was also quietly planning a fantasy film, reaching out to illustrator
Oh,
Brian Froud about a
that's
possible
pretty.
non-Muppet feature. As for the Muppet movie, Jim
Wait,
was
is this a moth person? Look
to
at that.
illustrator Brian Froud
She's like a
about
fairy.
possible non
She's got insect legs. I like this. Where is this design? I want to see more of this. They should bring this back. This also looks like watercolor. I love watercolor. Oh, don't be sorry at all, Vinklish. Don't be sorry. You're not always obligated to be here. I will survive and thrive on my own.
Muppet feature. As for the Muppet movie,
Don't
Jim was
worry.
asking for an astronomical
It is
$8
always
million
nice to have you,
budget,
though.
but Greg
It's
Hood
always
turned
nice to
down
have
Henson,
you.
seeing how much he believed in the project. Jim would reach back out to Burns to help him
We're
draft the
learning
script.
about the
In early
Muppets.
1978,
I'm so sorry. One that you would have been interested in, Action Park, I did watch. We could watch another Action Park video some other time, maybe from a different YouTuber. But yeah. We learned about the Muppets and the Wiggles. I got educated on a lot of Wiggles lore today. If you go on a road trip with the Muppets, you might see an actual fork planted in the road. Probably. It is that cartoony. Vanquish, I had such a thought, and I feel like you can I feel like you would have input. Are Muppets the original furries?
pre-production on the Muppet Show's third season was beginning.
We
Bonnie
saw
Erickson
Kermit
left her
crash
post
out
as head of
today, by the
industry
way.
workshop to
It was
form
very
her own company,
funny.
being replaced by designer Amy Van Gilder. Erickson and Henson would miss each other, and Henson wished her the best. A short time later, the Muppet Workshop would suffer a more permanent loss. Muppet builder Don Celine suddenly passed away.
We were
on
saying
February
Muppets are
20th,
basically the original
1978.
VTubers.
The loss of the Workshop's founder was devastating to the entire Muppet team, especially Jim. Although he would not cry in front of his team, the spiritually curious
Yo, he's
Henson
just
would
like
simply
me.
say,
He's just like me for real, for real. I'm physically incapable of crying in public. I've tried. I can't. It's hard. Is there something wrong with me? Is there something wrong with me, guys? Am I okay? Am I
We'll
normal?
see Don again. Those close to him would chalk it up to his unwavering
Welcome back,
optimism,
Scoob.
the same optimism that had
We're
helped him
learning
get
about the
through the death of his
Muppets.
brother. In April,
VTubers are
the team was
digital.
back in London shooting
They're
the third
virtual
season of the Muppet
puppets.
Show. On top of the addition of Gold,
The
a young
Muppets.
puppeteer named Steve Whitmire
Kermit
would join
the
the team.
Frog.
He'd auditioned for Jane, and Jane,
Statler and
always one to
Waldorf
spot
for the
talent in a
OG
person,
trolls.
passed him
Are
along
those
to
the
Jim.
old
A
guys?
slightly different opening was made for this
Who
season.
is
In the
Statler and
new episodes
Waldorf?
featured a new
Just so
setting,
I know
the
my
show's
Muppet
cafeteria,
lore.
with a cafeteria lady,
I want to
Gladys,
make sure I'm
performed by
right.
Hunt. Gold's new character, a pig named Annie Sue, would become more
Annie?
prominent during this season. And
Oh, they're
become
the
Miss
old
Piggy's rival.
guys.
The Muppet cast, now almost as famous as any guest.
Are they like Redditors or something? I never cry. You never cry. Okay, I can cry, but I can't cry in front of people. Like, I have never cried on stream in the 3 years that I've been streaming. I don't know if that's an accomplishment or something I should feel ashamed of. I just hope you guys know. I swear, I feel emotions. I swear. Old guy sitting up in the balcony seat. Yeah.
We're taking over the show, with many episodes featuring heavier
Miss
concept
Piggy
plots,
became a
such
nurse.
as an episode guest starring Loretta Lynn in which the Muppet Theater is being fumigated and the show must go on at a train station. More members of the Muppet Show were added, such as a new custodian named Beauregard, performed by Goals, that
Beauregard.
replaced George the janitor, and a sportscaster named Louis Kazager, and an odd performer with a boomerang fish act named Lou Zealand.
They like to make
both
fun of
performed by
Ozzy
Nelson.
Bear.
By this
I mean,
point, the
Fozzie
Muppet Show
Bear.
was
I don't
not
know why I
just a hit
said
in the
Ozzy.
UK and the US. It was a hit everywhere. It
Dracula.
was reportedly showing in 106 countries
Nosferatu.
and it garnered an audience of 235 million people. Some reports were saying that it was literally the most popular TV
Hi,
show
Kate
on
and the
Earth,
Ghost Cat.
and Jim was ready to
Welcome.
put
Hello,
the Muppets
hello.
on the big screen. He had
I
given
hope
the
you're
Muppet
doing
movie
good. I
script
hope you're
to
having a
Jewel
good
after
day.
Burns completed a draft. Jewel, always the best writer when it came to handling the characters,
We're
added
learning
an
about the
emotional
Muppets.
core to the film that brought the cast of Muppets together in
Well,
a
I draw
satisfying
Zooble.
and heartwarming way. Jim had also recruited Paul Williams to join the Muppets once again, writing original songs for the film, while composer Kenny Asher would write the score. While Jim wanted to direct, it was suggested that he find a more experienced director to handle the film.
I've never seen this one. What is this horse? I like the horse's neck movements. Look at this.
Jim was disappointed, but found a solid choice in director James Frawley. The
They're
film would
silly.
see the Muppets outside of their natural habitat in the Muppet Theater, and would instead be an origin movie where each character would be introduced to
Should I
one
make a
another in
Muppet
the
Peach
real world.
model?
Henson, Oz, and Frawley would begin test shoots in the summer of 1978 to see how the characters looked outside of the studio.
Excuse me,
What's
guys,
a Frank
you're looking
Oz?
for
Cow!
Hollywood?
Look at the cows.
You know, do you know anything about the way to Hollywood?
Do you know the way? Do you know the way? He's asking them for directions. I love it.
California? No, it's
I'm
over
sure they
here in
know.
Los Angeles. Have you ever been to
Okay, I have a funny story actually. I actually have a Kermit puppet. For those who don't know, I could share a picture one day, but my cat fucking hates that puppet. Every time I bring that puppet out, or Wispy brings it out, she starts like, she's like, oh, that's a predator. That's the apex predator. Kermit the Frog. She hates that puppet. The cow's gonna lick him. I like how the cows are not afraid. I like that. Cows are so cute.
Taking a break from shooting the Muppet Show's third
Look at that
season,
bird.
the Muppet team, along with new puppeteer Catherine Mullen, began production. The film was a testing ground for technical feats of both puppetry and filmmaking.
Is he
Wide
gonna
shots
do the
of Kermit
gritty?
riding a bike,
Is Kermit
scenes
in
with the Muppets
Fortnite?
driving cars, and the
Oh,
opening
I
scene,
remember
in which
this,
Kermit sings a
actually. I remember this movie. Yeah, they can walk. They can do the gritty if you think about it. But
riding a bike.
I remember
scenes
this.
with the
This is
Muppets
the
driving
movie.
Cars, and the opening scene, in which Kermit sings a
I think
sentimental
he
song,
was. I
Rainbow
can check.
Connection, pondering
Yes,
what it means
I
to
could have
have a
sworn he was
dream.
in
It would be
Fortnite.
filmed with Kermit playing the banjo on a
If
floating
not,
log in the middle of a swamp.
missed
This
opportunity.
was achieved by Jim building a
Muppets
swamp
in
in a
Fortnite
tank on a
when?
studio backlot,
That
going
we
beneath
need
the
we need
water in a
Elmo in
cramped
Fortnite
diving
too.
bell and sticking his hand up through the log. As
Imagine
usual,
Elmo doing the
Jim's
gritty on you.
dedication paid off, and it would be the film's most memorable scene.
Apparently
The film was
not.
chock
I
full of
could have
celebrity
sworn he
cameos,
was.
Muppet mayhem, and emotion. Jewel and Burns had wrote a solid script, and Kermit the Frog
Kermit.
had never been closer to Jim Henson. Starting as a dreamer in
Aw,
a swamp, as Jim had
cute.
started in Mississippi during his childhood, Kermit pursues
Oh,
his
Mississippi.
calling, finding friend after friend along the way.
That's where Jim
The film
Henson's
was full
from.
of emotional moments, such
He'll
as
be
a
in
song
Fortnite
from
one
Gonzo
day. Everyone will
titled
be.
"I'm
I know,
Going to
right?
Go Back There Someday," about trying to recapture a
They should
magic that he
focus
had
on
felt
that.
only briefly.
Fortnite should focus on that instead of their AI bullshit. Did you guys hear what was going on with like the Epic CEO, where he was like advocating more for Steam to take off their AI disclosures on games. That's so dumb. I would want to know if a game had AI so I don't buy it. The Muppet movie I saw on Disney Plus. I think so too. I think the same.
Beautiful scene in which Kermit talks to
I
himself.
think I did as well.
Guess I was wrong when I said I never promised anyone.
Is he talking to himself?
The film also commented on the Muppet crew itself, with
Aw.
Jewel injecting representations of the love that the team felt for one another.
Yo, well, I've got a dream too. But it's
They
about
had Darth
singing and
Vader.
dancing and making
Yeah.
people happy. That's the kind of dream that gets better the more people you share it with.
Oh,
Well, I found a whole bunch of friends.
he's got a cowboy
who have the
hat.
same dream. And
Chicken.
it kind of makes us like a family.
At the end of the film, after defeating the evil Doc Hopper who wants to make Kermit a spokesperson for Frog Legs, the gang finally makes it to Hollywood, busting into the office of Hollywood executive
Isn't that something people eat? Frog legs? I've heard people say it tastes like chicken.
Lou Lord, played by Orson Welles, a not-so-subtle
Yeah.
reference to Lord
Orson
Lou Grey.
Welles.
Lou Lord takes one look at the frog and
Wait,
his
where's
band of
Orson Welles
weirdos
from?
and says,
I forget.
Tracy, prepare the standard rich and famous contract for Kermit the Frog and Company.
Gurney.
it was a
Gurney.
comical
Oh, Citizen
simplification
Kane.
of Jim
Okay.
and the Muppets' rise to fame, which took
I don't
them
think I've
2
seen all of
decades.
Citizen Kane.
The
I've seen
culmination of
clips.
their work was on the screen, especially
I was
in the
studying
final
that when
shot,
I was studying
where over
Tim Burton.
250 of the workshop's creations appeared. Jim once again relied
I was
on the
studying like
puppeteers
some of Tim
America,
Burton's
as well as his
inspirations.
family
That
and
was one of
friends,
them.
to puppeteer the characters.
From
The
Earth.
ensemble would sing the last lines
He's
to the
from
closing
Earth.
song, a reprise of the Rainbow Connection song.
Rainbow. Look, happy Pride Month. I mean, it's July. Happy July the 4th. Happy America Day. I watched Citizen Kane for a film class. I watched some of Citizen Kane, but I watched a different film that inspired Tim Burton. I forgot what it was called. It was like Citizen Kane-esque.
Someday we'll find it. The Rainbow Connection. The lovers, the dreamers, and me.
Yeah.
With a twist. Life's like a movie.
He was right
Write your
all
own ending.
along,
Keep
Tigre.
believing,
AI would
keep
take
pretending.
over.
We've
Happy
done just
Raft
what we've
Month,
set out
yes.
to do. Thanks to the lovers,
Vincent
the
Price.
dreamers,
Yes,
and
Vincent Price. There was another movie. Not movie. There was another short
With
film.
production on the film complete, Jim and the Muppets returned
Oh,
to
have good
London
day,
in
Tails.
October
Thank you
of
for being here so
1978
long.
to
I
film 6
appreciate
more
it.
episodes of The Muppet Show, including a memorable episode with guest Harry Belafonte.
Look at that
With a
parrot.
hilarious rendition of the Banana Boat
The
song
brain
and
from
a
Pinky and the
beautiful
Brain, his
rendition
voice
of
was
Turn the
inspired by
Wheel.
Orson
The
Welles.
message of
Oh,
unity
that's
is something
cool.
that Belafonte and Henson found a mutual passion in, and the episode
Sorry.
would be one of Jim's
That was
favorites
rude
to
of me.
produce. A new recurring sketch was created during this time.
It's the
Bear on
Police.
Patrol, in which Fozzie
Vincent
plays a
Price was on the
peace
Muppet
officer
Show
with
too,
Wing
yeah.
being his
I
chief.
remember
Also, more concept episodes were produced.
I remember
such
Vincent
as a
Price was in Edward Scissorhands, and I think Edward Scissorhands might be my favorite. Burping right in front of the Muppets, right in front of my Muppets. Yo, this lady kissed Kermit. This lady kissed Kermit. He was so surprised. I'm like, no, he's meant for Miss Piggy. Stop motion animation like King Kong and Rankin Bass Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer, inspired Tim Burton too. Yeah. Yeah,
Cowboy
yeah.
episode with guest
I'm
stars
thinking of
Roy
something
Rogers and
really
Dale
old
Evans,
that I
and a
was
Robin
trying to
Hood episode
remember.
with guest star Lynn Redgrave. Season 3
Fuck.
of The Muppet Show would finish
It's on
production in
YouTube,
February
actually, too, the
1979,
movie I'm
and the
talking
team would
about.
be back to work on season 4 just 2 months later. Apart from yet another variation of the opening, the format
Price
and
was
characters
also
seemed
in
to be more
Scooby-Doo.
concrete, possibly thanks to
Ah,
a
I
few new
see, I
and improved
see.
designs from the Muppet movie. Also, because of
I
the
have a
film, set to be
PowerPoint on
released
it.
in May,
I'm
Jim and
not
the
pulling
Muppets
out the
had to fit
PowerPoint because it
filming of
has my
6
real name
episodes
on it.
into 1 month. Jane and their 3 youngest children had joined him in London, which made the devoted father
God damn it.
extremely happy.
What am I
After
thinking
the
of?
episodes were finished, Jim went on a promotional tour for the Muppet movie.
Louder and funnier.
Doing my best out here.
You're dying.
You're dying.
The film premiered on May 31st, 1979 in London, and it would hit U.S. theaters the next month. The film was praised by critics and audiences alike, and it would gross over $65 million, blowing its $8 million budget out of the water. It was indicative of just how strong the team's work was, and how much the audience loved it. Season 4 of The Muppet Show
I know
continued
what it
filming throughout
was.
the summer of
It was a movie titled The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. It got me a lot because it was like black and white, but I liked the movie because even though it was in black and white, it would have like a filter over it for certain scenes. Like whenever it was like nighttime, it would be blue, and whenever it was like daytime or something hectic happening, it would be yellow. I thought that was very cute. Me when you're dying.
1979, until a union strike halted production. The Muppets and John
It
Denver
inspired
would
his
develop a
art style a
Christmas
lot.
special together
I can show you guys a
called
poster
John
from
Denver
it.
and the Muppets,
The
A
poster
Christmas
looks really
Together.
cute.
Denver had guest starred on The Muppet Show early in season 4. and the collaboration on the Christmas
And
special,
Fritz
especially the
Lang
soundtrack,
was
would
another.
become hugely popular during the 1979
It was a
Christmas season.
silent film. It was one of the
songs,
last
It's in Every One
silent
of Us,
films.
would be a personal favorite of Jim's, and Robin and Denver would sing when
It
the
was the
river meets
inspiration
sea
of the
from Leonardo
Halloween Town.
Christmas
Yeah.
on the album. Filming on season 4 of The Muppet Show would resume after the
I know
strike ended in
Halloween
late
Town.
October.
It's that.
One of season 4
I know what Halloween Town is. It's that thing in Kingdom Hearts.
Wars' most memorable episodes would be when the cast of Star Wars visited the Muppet Theater. With the second film in the series, The Empire Strikes Back, set
Even
to
though
release
Burton was
later
the
that
only
year,
producer
Luke
of Nightmare
Skywalker, his cousin
Before
Mark
Christmas,
Hamill,
Henry
Chewbacca,
Selick was the director.
C-3PO,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
R2-D2 made it.
Henry and Tim Burton had a lot of common interest, and that's why. But I think without Henry, it would not be the same without Henry Selick. And for those who don't know, Henry Selick was the one who directed Coraline. Yeah.
Appearances. Empire,
People
which
think
had coincidentally been
People think Tim Burton had stuff to do with Coraline. He didn't, except for influencing Henry, and that's really it.
filmed at Elstree Studios, featured the new character, Jedi Master
Let me
Yoda,
show what I was talking
performed
about.
by Frank Oz with assistance from Catherine Mullen, bringing
Well,
the Muppets
since
into
we're
George
talking
Lucas's
about this
world.
topic.
Now, months later, Star Wars was brought into
This is
the
on
Vincent's
YouTube, by the way.
The
I don't know
episode
if I'll
ended
ever
with
show it
everyone
on stream
singing the
because it's a
classic
silent
Disney
film,
song,
but
When
yeah.
You Wish Upon a Star,
Burton wasn't
which in
involved in
hindsight
it.
is a perfect
Frank Oz did
illustration of the
Yoda.
phrase,
Oh, that's
"Be careful
nice.
what you wish for." In February
It's very
1980,
cute. It has
the final
very
episode of
cute
The Muppet
set
Show's fourth
design.
season was complete.
I
Each
like
season had
it.
consisted of 24 episodes.
I
for a
didn't
grand
watch all
total
of it, but
96 being produced thus
it's
far.
pretty
The
long
international
actually too. I think.
sensation's fifth
I think it's
season would
long.
put
I'm
the
not
show
sure.
over the magic
How long is
100
that?
episode number, the amount necessary to
I
syndicate
don't remember if
reruns
I
of the
watched
show
all
on
of it. I
rotation.
watched.
Jim had
Oh, it's
decided
50
that
minutes.
this
That's
was
not that
enough.
bad actually. An
Always
hour.
looking forward, he
It's
planned that
long
the
for its
upcoming
time.
season would be the last for the Muppet Show. He could have continued doing the program indefinitely, with the possibility
You guys remember when movies were only an hour long and not like 3 hours long?
that it would become a staple of television, a show with
Ugh.
immunity to cancellation. But Henson wanted to end it on a high note, and he was happy that the royalties from the reruns could help him fund future creative projects. While he was proud of the show, he was already on
Going
bigger
to the
ideas.
Avengers
The final
movies
season
like
of The Muppet Show would film through the spring and summer of 1980.
I
Another
already
variant
called
of the
it. Like
opening would be filmed
one day you're gonna be spending a whole spending a whole part-time job shift at the movie theaters just to watch a single movie for like a Marvel movie or something. Burton was too occupied with the second Michael Keaton Batman movie. Oh yeah, for Coraline. Oh, that's why he didn't. Oh no. Oh, okay. For Nightmare Before Christmas. I see. That's why. Yes, he originally was gonna. You guys know Nightmare Before Christmas didn't actually do that well when it first aired. I think Nightmare Before Christmas only became popular when there was a resurgence of like gothic culture in America, like Hot Topic and shit. I remember seeing as another fun fact. The longest movie I watched was Lawrence of Arabia. Oh. Movies used to have intermissions. Yeah, that movie I showed you guys just now. Well, not movie, the poster I showed you for a movie. This is like one of the last silent films, I think, to air. It's like 50 minutes long. I think that was long for their time because silent films, I think, were typically 20 minutes. Disney also didn't want anything to do with it at first, but then it got popular and oh yeah, Disney did not want anything to do with Nightmare Before Christmas at first. They really didn't. I remember, I think they had like a legal limbo with some of the characters too, just because of that. Very sad that they were like, oh, we only want to talk to you now that you're popular type shit. Desi Spark, thank you for the check-in. Welcome, welcome.
Why do we always come here? I guess we'll never know. It's
Bars?
like a kind of torture to have to watch the show.
A new cold open format would begin.
Tyler,
each
take
episode,
notes.
And more concept episodes would be produced. It wouldn't be until
Touchstone
June
Pictures
that
was
the news would break that the
originally
fifth season of the Muppet Show would be final.
originally made it
But with
despite
pre-production
that it
on
was
a
still a
second Muppet
Disney-owned
movie already
studio.
underway,
Yeah.
Fans knew that Kermit and the gang weren't going anywhere. The final episode of the
I always
Muppet
thought it
Show
was a
would film
nice
in mid-August of 1980.
Maybe I'll find a video on, maybe like in Halloween time, we'll find a video on the lore of Nightmare Before Christmas. One of the fun facts I like about it too is that the way he came up with it was by looking at a store display. We're doing good, Ave. Hello, hello. We're learning about the Muppets. We're actually almost done with this video. We're watching Defunctland. It's my first time watching. It's very good. Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Yeah, I love that actually. I like that movie a lot. It was like,
Guest star Gene
I like
Kelly.
how
The
it's a
episode
mix
featured
of
a
live
running gag in which
action.
characters referenced
It's like
the end of
Space
the
Jam. A
world,
mix of live
subnod
action
to
and
the episode being the show's
cartoon.
last to be produced.
The end is near. I know the end is now. We'll see you next time on the Muppet Show.
The crew at Elstree Studios was sad to
Do
see
you
the Muppets go,
consider
and
Nightmare
the
Before
send-off was
Christmas a
bittersweet.
Christmas movie or Halloween? I think both. ¿Por qué no los dos? Why not? Why not? I like both. I mean, I like Halloween way more than Christmas though. Isn't there yeah, both. Yeah. It influenced Space Jam, Looney Tunes back in action. Nice.
For the Muppet team.
I
They were
like
leaving
Jessica
behind the
Rabbit.
most
She was one of
successful
my
show in the world,
bisexual
but they were
awakenings.
following Jim Henson. And as usual,
Roger had it
he was
good.
already one step ahead of them.
Good for
Jim
Roger.
had developed as an artist throughout the years on the Muppet
I tend to
Show.
watch it more on
Thanks in part to
Halloween.
Jewel,
I think I
characters
tend to
became
watch it
deeper,
more at
and there were
Christmas,
more
but I
beats of
lean more to
sentimentality
towards
and less
Halloween.
cartoon violence.
Like, it's one of those movies because I actually really don't like Christmas, to be honest. It's one of those movies I watch during Christmas to get away from Christmas, but it's somewhat Christmas. Who Framed Roger Rabbit was the only movie to have both Disney and Looney Tunes characters in the same film. Oh yeah, I remember that. Jessica Rabbit. Should I draw her one day?
Puns, and dancing. The episode with Belafonte had shown Jim what his
It's
creations
mostly a
could do when
Christmas
thoughtfully
movie, yeah.
tackling bigger topics.
Tim Burton
In that
really
scene, Henson
loved
was
Christmas
listening to
movies for
Kermit the
some
Frog's
reason.
advice. Life's like
Do
a
it.
movie.
One
Write your own
day.
ending.
One
While Henson
day.
didn't see an ending, he did see the next
I'm
scene.
looking for the
He
next
couldn't shake an
Defunctland
idea
video
that
we
he had
should
been given
watch.
by entrepreneur Peter Orton at a private gathering.
We
Orton
can
had
do
suggested
one
that Jim
we can do
create a
one more
children's show for the
Defunctland video
international
before I
market,
end stream
taking
today.
some of the techniques developed for
Would you guys want to see a Garfield one next? I feel like a Garfield one would be nice.
Sesame Street and combining them
Since
with
we're on the
international
topic of
reach the Muppet Show.
cartoons.
Instead of teaching letters and numbers, Jim had his eyes set
Ernie.
on something more complex. Love
That's Ernie,
and
right?
life.
I
He
forget which one's
recruited
Bert or
Jewel and
Ernie.
Jocelyn Stevenson,
All I know about
a
them is
writer
that they're
Jim had
probably
met through the
gay.
Children's Television Workshop, among others.
Gotta
to
draw
help them
him a
brainstorm.
lasagna.
They would need a world, new characters.
Burton
and
only
above all,
directed two
a name.
movies that have
Jim liked
Christmas
the
scenes
title,
like Edward
Woozle
Scissorhands
World,
and
but he
Batman
was reminded
Returns.
that A.A. Milne had already
I swear there were more Christmas movies under Burton's belt, but it was like when I was like binging his stuff for a school project, I'm like, why the fuck can't I get away from these Christmas movies? I'm so tired of seeing Christmas stuff. I just don't like Christmas. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? Is it? I think it is.
popularized Woozles with Winnie the Pooh. It was then suggested to call the
Winnie
characters
the
Googlies,
Pooh.
but
That's
Jim
my
didn't like
favorite
the way
Kingdom
it
Hearts
sounded.
world.
Then someone brought up Frackles, the name given to the henchman from the Great
I say
Santa
it
Claus
is,
Switch.
yeah.
He thought about this. Frackles. It wasn't bad,
Fraggles.
but it could use some work.
Pat, pat, pat. Oh, there's gonna be a part 2 of this. Is there a part 2 of this? I guess we'll find out some other day, because I really want to watch the Garfield one now that I saw it. I haven't explored enough of Defunctland's channel. If you guys have specific ones you want to watch... Oh. Sorry, I'm just gonna lower the ad a little bit. I knew that was coming. I knew that was coming. I love the bad mic. This is cute for a YouTube sponsor to have a Muppet. The yellow Muppet with the unibrow is Bert. The short orange Muppet with the rubber duck is Ernie. Yeah. Bubber Ducky. Hi Tilsdale, happy 4th of July. Welcome, welcome. We're about to get to the final Defunctland video for today. It's going to be 40 minutes long, I believe. I think it's the Garfield one. Yeah, I want to watch the Okay, it is 30 minutes long. It is 30 minutes long. No, yeah, well, I can find a way to make it an hour long. Let's see. Oh, you know what I should do before we get to that one? Since you saw SMG4, what do you think of it? I think it's a little too loud for that type of YouTube humor is not exactly like, I liked it,